We're going to go now to topic number 3. We don't have a lot of time, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention and hear what our guests thought about it. Here it is up on the screen. British names on street signs, great in Montreal. Now we're talking about Montreal's East End here, where a city councillor started to get a bit annoyed that there was too much English language creeping in to the fabric of his area. And take, for example, there's a street called Jeffrey Amherst, and it's named after a leader in the British Army that was very much involved in, of course, defeating and gaining Canada. And this fellow is taking offense to this. Plus, there are many street names that are too anglicized for this particular councillor. So he wants to see these names changed, and he wants to see what he calls something more Frenchicized into the system. And not everybody is agreeing with this, because these names definitely bear a history. And it was pointed out that, yes, you do have history presented on street signs, and some of it is integrated. You might have some British names, some French names, and so forth. So, your opinion on this? Let's start with you, Paul.
Well, Quebec's a British territory, and it is because after the British kicked France off the territory, France said they would rather have some islands than have Canada. They actually chose. You're
irritating separatists here. Well, hey, really big.
Literally, France said, we don't want Canada, we want the islands instead. We have these missing links, though, that hang around in Quebec still, who, it's not so much important that they want to get rid of Amherst's name, it's rather that they want to impose something else instead. And the one thing they want to impose, always, is a French name, a French culture, a French food, a French dress, a French flower. It's collectivism, it's base tribalism, it's against the idea that every individual, regardless of where they live, has their own mind, they can prefer their own tastes, music, and everything else. This idea that he refers to the English as the English, like we're some big collective, and the French. Well, you know what? Amherst doesn't define me. I'm not related to him, and he doesn't take anything from me.
There's still a bit of enmity, though, between the two charter groups that you see still existing in society. I mean, there have even been arguments about Canada even paying the money to have both interpretations of French and English on labels. This is something ongoing across Canada, and it's, yes.
To the extent that English-speaking people engage in this kind of nonsense, they're equally to blame. The idea is we aren't the English and the French. We're a bunch of Canadian individuals, each of whom have preferences. And these people who want to push a culture on us and say, you're French and you belong to our tribe, are the missing links in this society. People who don't want to think, all they want is for everyone to act the same way, follow the same rules, be the same, and they are the trouble, whether they're French or English or anything else.
Okay, Sam Shear, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, for me, as I grew up in high school here, I always enjoyed both cultures. Yes. I mean, the English and the French. And I always enjoyed it when I went to like different cities and see both signs. I would think that there's no need for it to be all one sign. I mean, we come from two different cultures. Canada has two official languages. And if it's street signs, then, okay, make them an English sign and a French sign then. You know.
And in this area, there are both sides. Yeah. And it's a history here that's being tampered with. And I know that there are those that will say, well, why keep showing and parading the English side of it? But both are here. And you call this, you think it's stirring up trouble?
It's always stirring up trouble. Now,
what's your prediction? Do you think this proposal is going to go through?
No, I think he's a backwards little man who's going to have his proposal go down in flames.
Okay, and we're going to have to close on that point because we're out of time for today. Thank you both so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have. See you again next time. I'm Christine Williams, and from all of us, thank you for watching.